Hey, friendly neighborhood geek here, doing something a little bit different. Usually I do reviews on movies and uh, fan content and short films, stuff like that. But this has been on my mind ever since I saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Um, this is more of like a discussion topic type of video, so people, I would love for people who see this to put your own theories or opinions in the comments. Yeah, but for starters, I think I've said I love Spider-Man. It's probably my favorite superhero. I have Peter B. Parker. He's put away. He's in my closet, but I have a Peter B. Parker action figure, which at this point is worth like $200. Yeah. Um, so like I said, I had Miles, I had Gwen, I had a couple other Spider people. Like of course, I love Spider-Man, childhood superhero. I used to watch the Tobey Maguire movies all the time. I like the Amazing Spider-Man movies. The Tom Holland movies have been cool. I really like No Way Home. And like I said, when Into the Spider-Verse was advertised, I wasn't really too invested in it. And then I saw it a couple times. I was like, oh wow, this is a really, really good movie. So of course I was excited for the second one. I didn't get to see Into the Spider-Verse in theaters, but I got to see Across in theaters. It was an awesome, viewing experience. Um, and like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. I hope, Beyond comes out on time. And I hope that, they're able to wrap everything up in this finale. So I believe this is the third one's going to be the last one. Um, yeah, and not to be all over the place, I remember people were praising how amazing this movie was when it came out, and then like some months later, people were kind of complaining and excuse my language, bitching about some of the flaws that the movie has. So, oh goodness. So anyway, what was the topic that was on my mind? So in the movie, I'm gonna assume you've seen the movie by now. Um, we see Miles is introduced. Our main character, Miles Morales, is shown that there is a spider society, a society of Spider Men and Spider Women who work together and all that stuff. Go to different universes to fix, like if there's something going on or multiversal type of situations, they go to those individual universes and work together to keep everything in order. We find out Miguel O'Hara, 2099 Spider-Man, is basically the leader of the Spider Society. And they tell Miles that like your dad is going to die at the hands of the Spot, the main, or you could say one of the main antagonists of the movie. Of course, that doesn't sit well with Miles. Is like, I can't just sit here and let my dad die knowing that there was something I could have done to prevent it. But we find out like, oh, the reason why they won't let him, they're not willing to let him save his dad is because if he messes up the timeline, whatever, um, the canon event, whatever, it could cause that whole universe to be destroyed. But even though, so we find out that happened with a universe that Miguel was in. Um, won't get into all that. So, but as the audience, we don't really know, like, just because that happened to Miguel doesn't mean that that could happen to anybody in any universe who decides to change, the canon. So, my thing was, what are the guidelines, so to speak, to getting into the society? Like, I think they showed Tobey Maguire Spider Man. They showed Andrew Garfield Spider Man. Miguel references Tom Holland Spider Man, MCU Spider Man. He referenced No Way Home, the situation that happened with him and Doctor Strange in No Way Home. So, like I said, that's another thing I love about the Marvel movies, Marvel in general. Everything is connected. Everything is its own unit. There's all these different universes. I guess you could say the same for DC, but it feels more connected with Marvel. I really praise Marvel for doing that. I love how all these movies and shows and um, excuse me, comics, excuse me, are connected. I just think that's really, really cool, in my opinion. Um, so, like I said, what are the guidelines to get into the society? Like, why haven't we seen the live action Spider-Man be a part of the society? I thought that was a fun topic. Like, what could be held against them for why they, weren't, brought in sooner? than some of these other characters. So for Tobey's Spider-Man, I felt like maybe one of the things held against him was that he got the black suit and how he acted with the suit, maybe, or maybe because he's an older Spider-Man and maybe I guess he's kind of found his way, found his footing throughout his superhero career. Maybe they didn't see a reason to um, bring him into the society. That's a possibility. Like 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 I say, you're an older Spider-Man now. You've kind of figured everything out. Like I'm curious. Like, is the society really just for Spider-Men who just need that that encouragement or need that assistance, or just know that you're not alone? There are thousands, hundred thousands of other Spider-Men and women in this multiverse. Um, like I said, we saw Spectacular Spider-Man. For anyone who grew up with the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, we saw that he got accepted to the society. And if you go on to the Spider-Verse fandom, you can read, what led up to him getting into the society. I highly recommend that if you're a fan of the Spectacular Spider-Man show. That was really interesting to read. So we see the Spectacular Spider-Man got accepted. We saw that Spider-Man Unlimited got accepted, which was a one-season Spider-Man show from the early 2000s, which technically was like Peter Parker, if you took him to the future, sort of kind of. There's more to it than that. I was just kind of trying to give you like a somewhat synopsis. But Spider-Man Unlimited was fun. That was a cool show. And again, that only had one season. It got canceled. A lot of crazy backstory behind the production of that show. But like I said, so we had two animated Spider-Man. So like I said, I talked about, so we just said why I think Tobey's Spider-Man maybe didn't get accepted. Andrew Spider-Man. I mean, again, I don't know why either with that one. I think because at No Way Home, he talks about how he kind of lost his way and started, not holding back his punches, and it's kind of implied that he could have possibly K-worded someone, like a robber, a thug or something, a criminal. So I guess I don't know. Maybe, like I said, because he lost his way, his drive to be Spider-Man, maybe. But at the same time, like all that version of Peter, all the stuff that he experienced, losing his girlfriend at the hands of his childhood friend, losing his his parents, losing Uncle Ben, losing his girlfriend's dad, Captain Stacy, because Captain Stacy got involved with Spider-Man. Like all those situations that happened to him, like what would that do to someone mentally, losing all those people close to you in a short period of time? I think, like what, I think that would be, it would be a good idea to bring him into the society so he knows that he's not alone out there in the universe. Tom Holland's version, I think the situation with Doctor Strange and No Way Home may have been the reason why he wasn't brought into the society. Again, at the same time, he lost Aunt May. He had to change time, so everyone completely forgot who he was. So he kind of had nobody anymore. Like again, he was kind of alone in the world. I think he deserved to be brought into the society, and he's still a young Spider-Man. MTV Spider-Man, the short-lived MTV cartoon in the early 2000s. That Spider-Man, well, it's kind of a spoiler. At the end of that show, he basically threw his suit into the ocean. He kind of was F it, I quit, for reasons I won't go into. So I could kind of see that as a reason why he wasn't brought in, because he quit. He was done being Spider-Man. I don't know. But I just like the idea of just speculating. 90s Spider-Man, 90s show. I think he didn't get accepted because, again, kind of like with Tobey's Spider-Man, he kind of figured everything out. He had done so many things. Maybe they just didn't see a reason to bring him in. Like he's good, he's straight, he doesn't really need to be here, or whatever. The Disney Spider-Man, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really seen much of that show, so I don't know. But yeah, post your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious.